everybody, it is Blonde Blitz time. Let's go.
He's had, but I still like the Commanders.
I'm also tough.
DeMar Chase. I'm looking at that Cincinnati team against the Cleveland Browns.
Well, as soon as I saw the rain last night, I was wondering if that might be a little bit of a factor as well.
How we play that week is really going to be more impacted.
With the Raiders, who got Jacoby Myers back.
The same thing with Joe Burrow. You just expect Joe Burrow to do it because he's been to a Super Bowl.
It's time to send in the Blitz with Deb Whitcas and the Blonde Blitz.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Blonde Blitz. I'm your host, Deb Whitcas. Happy holidays, everyone. Week 16 is over, and week 17 is here. We've got 2 more weeks in the regular season. It's crazy. Our second annual Blonde Blitz Friendsgiving show was so successful, I brought it back for the holidays. Today, I'll be joined by some of the top NFL reporters, hosts, content creators in the biz, who also happen to be my friends. First off, we've got former NFL player for the Seattle Seahawks and current NFL analyst Dave DeRochas. He is here. Erin Coscarelli, host for Believe in Rams. I also see her weekly at the Rams practice facility. Ali Moran, sports writer, repping her Chicago Bears. Eric Wilson, Eagles content creator and host of The Sports Arena. Drea Catalano, sports photographer and videographer. He is repping the Patriots. And finally, Brian Snow from Snowman in the Morning, talking San Francisco. As far as the rest of the show, we have private chef to the NFL athletes, Chef Virginia. She's going to join us to give you a healthy twist on your holiday meal. Sports betting expert Alex White is here for your best bet for week 17, along with fantasy expert Ballers Meg. Intuitive reader 333 Ask Carrie looks at her power deck for the Texans versus Chargers game. And let's get it all started, guys. Let's go with headlines.
Now to Deb Whitcas with the Blonde Blitz headlines.
Week 16 delivered one of the most dramatic Sundays of the season, with playoff races tightening and history being made across the league. Philadelphia clinched the NFC East for the second straight year, becoming the first team in the division to repeat as champions in 21 years. Seattle secured its first playoff berth since 2022 with a 38-37 overtime win, while Chicago and San Francisco also punched postseason tickets after missing the playoffs last year. Since 1990, at least 4 teams every season have reached the playoffs after failing to qualify the year before. And this year is no exception. Individual performances matched the chaos. Josh Allen recorded his 87th career regular season win, passing Tom Brady and Russell Wilson for the second most wins by a quarterback through 8 seasons. Myles Garrett added to his league-leading total, reaching 22 sacks and tying for the third most in a single season since sacks became official in 1982. Mike Tomlin earned his 200th career win at age 53, becoming the 11th head coach all time to reach that mark, while extending Pittsburgh NFL record streak to 22 consecutive seasons without a losing record. Wow. Around the league, Joe Burrow surpassed 20,000 passing yards and 150 touchdown passes in his first 75 career games. Justin Herbert recorded his 31st career 300-yard passing game, and Bijan Robinson eclipsed 5,300 career scrimmage yards before turning 24, placing him among the most productive young players in NFL history. Meanwhile, the Steelers will be without a key weapon after wide receiver DK Metcalf was suspended 2 games after a physical confrontation with a fan in Detroit. Metcalf is appealing the suspension, which carries major financial implications and removes Pittsburgh's leading receiver, who has 850 receiving yards this season, for 2 crucial AFC North matchups. Head coach Mike Tomlin said he does not condone the behavior, but continues to support his player as the appeal process plays out. All right, guys, that are your headlines. See you next week. As I said in the intro, today we'll be joined by some of the top NFL reporters, hosts, content creators in the biz to talk hot takes from week 16 and playoff seeding for our holiday coffee talk. Please welcome former NFL player for the Seattle Seahawks and current NFL analyst, Dave DeRocher. We've got the host for Believe in Rams, Erin Coscarelli. She's joining us. Sports writer, Ali Moran, repping her Chicago Bears. Host of the Sports Arena and Eagles content creator, Eric Wilson. Sports photographer and videographer, repping the Patriots, Drea Catalano. And finally, Brian Snow from Snowman in the Morning, talking San Francisco. Let's go, guys.
Next caller is Deb Whitcas, who says she has some really hot takes.
Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
What's going on?
How's
Hey,
everyone doing?
Eric. We may see you in Santa Clara, my friend.
Oh, here he goes. He's already starting. We haven't even got to
Already
anything.
started.
I know. In all seriousness, it's good to see everybody here.
Absolutely.
And you, Brian.
Let's start off with Rams, Seahawks. Dave, Aaron, what a game. With the Seahawks beating the Rams, Seahawks are now in first place in the NFC, possibly getting the bye. Rams are in fifth. They may play the Eagles as link. We will see. Crazy game in OT. I mean, Aaron, Rams were that 16-point fourth quarter lead. We'll start off, Dave. What are your thoughts on that game?
Well, I host a watch party, and I invited my good buddy Brett Farnaz, a Rams legend that I played with at San Diego State, for friendly banter. And I'll tell you what, when we were down, I was already talking about next week. And son of a gun, man, we just plowed back, and that's why I love this game. Is that as long as there's time on the clock, and then of course you get a few bounces, which I think everybody's talked about, that 2-point conversion. Right. And just real quickly on that, one thing I was taught since high school is you never leave a ball on the ground, right? And so everyone's surprised, like, why did you pick it up? Because you never leave a ball on the ground. And as soon as I saw that replay, it's like, I knew that was a backward pass, and I knew that was going to be.
Come on. Wasn't the whistle blown?
Yes. The whistle was blown.
I mean, listen,
the whistle was blown.
I'm not here to be a Ram. I am trying to be as unbiased as I can. But is that really considered athletic NFL performance? I agree. By the way, I might be delayed. That's how ridiculous I feel like all of this is right now. Sorry if my internet issues are acting a fool. It's busy here in LA.
I'll share something with you, Aaron. Being a person that's been on that field, half of what we do is athletic. I will tell you, there's a lot of times where things don't look very athletic, but it still serves a purpose and achieves the goal. I'm just saying, as a person that's played the game, that you just don't leave a ball laying on the ground. I don't know if a whistle was blown or not. Now, I will say this, and I will agree with you that if a whistle was blown, then the play's dead.
Okay, but here's the thing that I think people sometimes forget is that when it comes to these matchups, specifically within divisions, I have always said this. When it comes to divisional games, you throw the playbook, the rule book, and every other book out the window, because anything and everything will probably happen within those 4 quarters. And it's so dynamic that we are having this conversation about a divisional matchup when there are 3 teams from the NFC West that are potentially going to be in the playoffs. Yeah, it's maddening to think that. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. Are all seedings in?
They're already in. The seedings are not in, but all 3 teams have clinched. It's just a matter of seedings, and that's going to go all the way to week 18. All of us have talked. I haven't had Dave on yet. I hope to change that during the playoffs, but all of us have talked across social media saying, and the question that was asked among us, which division could surprise you? Eric was one of the first ones to get back to me and say NFC West. Watch it. Yeah. And then Deb was next. Ali confirmed. It was a toss-up with my crew. It was a toss-up between the NFC West and the AFC East, and we see how that's playing out. But as Dave said, you play until the whistle. You do not stop until that whistle blows. and you just keep playing. They get 2 points out of it, and then overtime happened, and already the game was upside down, and then we had extra football for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, and Aaron, what did you think of Terrence Ferguson's touchdown? Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah. Before, you mean?
Yeah, the Terrence Ferguson's touchdown that was nullified.
I think that I appreciate the point that was made that football is also a game of emotions as much as it is inches. And there was a missed field goal. The first field goal missed in Mavis's career, obviously. And I'm sorry if I must be really delayed. I even noticed it myself. My internet, I don't know, guys. I need to get like IT over here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's just
you mentioned that field goal. Like Carrie had missed field goals during the season, and then Mevis, that was his first field goal that he missed. But they did fire, special teams coordinator Chase Blackburn too, and now they're trying to correct things in special teams. But
trying being the operative word.
I'm always
when your kickoff philosophy is to kick it through the end zone, that's literally what the Rams have been doing all season.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
this
is the first.
In Santa Clara, they did it to us in Santa Clara all day.
This is the first time McVay has made a coaching change in the middle of the season ever in nine years at the helm. So it just signifies a certain level of urgency and also a margin of error that the Rams do not approve of in terms of if they keep seeing, mistakes happen, depending on offense, defense, they will make the respective changes. I just think it's frustrating to see a game change momentum on a play like that. That's so controversial. And I think at the end of the day, listen, McVay doesn't make excuses. He takes accountability and responsibility for his team, whether or not he felt it was a fair play or not. It is what it is. There's no going back. It's just crazy that that play changed everything. And of course, obviously impacted the seeding that was on the line.
Yeah. Dave, what do you think? What did the Seahawks have to do to, make it? Obviously, they're in the playoffs, but make it to Super Bowl.
Well, I'll tell you, and just like your co-host hopped on earlier, we talked about the defense, and the defense is just crazy good. They're still learning; they still make mistakes because they're young, and they're still learning to communicate. But I would tell you, it's one of the best defenses in the league. What we need to do is get better up front. Our offensive line finally is starting to come together and gel a little bit, and then we'd lose Cross. But we just need to keep that solid game plan. We have with a great game plan. 13, we're going one back, 3 tight ends. And we have the best receiver in the league. I don't know. It's just whatever he's just doing it, man. And I just think we need to trust it. We got the 1-2 punch with a running back. Here's what we need. We need Sam Darnold to just not feel like he has to win the game for us. Because as soon as he feels like he has to do that, he makes a mistake, and he's done it. Doggone it, just don't lose the game for us. Just manage the game because we are just fine.
But Sam got away with two big mistakes on. Sam got away with 2 big mistakes on Thursday night, both in the same quarter, and it nearly cost him. The other thing I feel the Seahawks need to do, you got to come after the quarterback. The last 4 games, they've gotten the least amount of pressures within their division on the quarterback, and the last one you have this year is against San Francisco, and it's against the quarterback that is getting hot at the right time.
To your point, I thought for sure with 84-year-old Rivers back there that can't that we would come after him. Up until a few weeks ago, we almost led the league in pressures and sacks. I mean, we were all over the quarterback, and that guy cannot move. Why wouldn't we just come after him? And we just let them sit back there and pick us apart and stay in the game. Watch the Niners last night just shred that team. We should have done the same thing. We let them stay in it, and and I don't know what we're doing up front. What has changed, but it has changed, and it's noticeable. So you're 100% right. Let the dogs eat, man. I tell you what, because that front wants to come after the quarterback. Let them go.
But Dave, speaking of your quarterback, man, I got to ask you. You were saying that you need to let Sam Darnold he just needs to do his thing and let the rest of your team handle business. Is that age? Because we've seen that now when he was in Minnesota and now with Seattle. When we get towards the end of the year, the end of the regular season, it feels as though from the lens that I'm looking out of, Sam Darnold just feels like he has to be that guy in December. So what can you tell me?
You know what it is, Eric? If you remember those last 2 games in Minnesota, I don't know what happened to their offensive line, but they did not show up. And he was getting pressured all over the place. Sam Darnold does not do well under pressure. And so when he starts getting pressured, he starts getting happy feet, just like Goff. Both those guys, they start getting happy feet, and they make bad decisions and bad plays. Otherwise, doggone it, he's in the Pro Bowl. I mean, he's a good quarterback. But when he gets pressured, that's when he gets into trouble, and he makes poor decisions.
We've seen quite a few quarterbacks this year get in trouble when they get pressured. Sam, especially the second half of the ball game against the Rams. The Rams kept coming after him, but then 3 or 4 big plays by your offensive line, kept Sam alive, and he was able to make the game-winning throw.
Yeah.
Well, and to that point too, Aaron, I feel like Matthew Stafford got a little nervous too. That's the most nervous I've seen him, covering them all season. I was like, oh, he's messing up here. And, obviously how many points did they lose in the last quarter there? But did you have that same thought or?
Yeah, that you're not the only person that has said that, actually. Again, I'm feeling like I'm seeing ghosts with my internet and my AOL account. Is it still bad? Real bad, guys? Real bad? Okay.
No, it's fine now. It's
much better.
AOL.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You're all good.
Okay.
She upgraded to Yahoo.
Exactly.
Without the disk drive.
No, but I think I don't know if it was he got hit. You saw him take that hit. He got up a little gingerly, and then he went into the tent, but then he said it was not for injury purposes. So I don't know. I think it's like when young guys see that the leader is unsettled, I think it has a trickle-down effect. It is not easy at CenturyLink. It is one of the most hostile, aside from Arrowhead, environments. It was raining. I was worried about the weather. But what's funny is I was always like, well, they've got Sam Darnold. So we'll be, the Rams will be okay. Like there's always no hope and faith in Sam Darnold throwing a pick. And I don't know. I mean, it's the one good thing I feel like if you are, a Rams fan is there's so much reverence for your opponent, what they've gone through, and Sam Darnold to have the poise at the end of the game, his coach to trust in him to do a 2-point conversion. That's what I love about the game of football. It's like, hey, the Phillip Rivers stuff, So, look, I think the thing is the Rams have been tested all season long. What do they do the best? I mean, find a way to respond. Absolutely. What McVay had to handle post game, especially a week he had his second game. Remember that Cardinals game? He didn't even travel with the team when they faced Arizona because he was sick. This team has been tested, and going to Seattle on a short week is no easy feat. So,
absolutely. And you asked the team about that too. I remember I saw your IG. Moving on to Chicago and the Packers game. Chicago sits second seed in NFC, first time in the playoffs since 2020. They had that incredible, comeback in OT. They scored 10 points in the final 1 minute and 49 seconds. Caleb Williams threw that 46-yard touchdown to DJ Moore, who everyone here knows I love.
Yes.
But has Chicago, even though their records, have they been overlooked due to past years?
Yes, I'm one of the first ones to overlook them.
Excuse me, Snowman. Excuse me. She was asking me, not you.
Hey,
sorry.
I'm just putting myself out there on a silver platter. I'm one of the main ones that have overlooked them. Allie, you
remember what happened to John the Baptist when didn't somebody ask for his head on a silver platter at some point?
Well, you ain't getting mine because my wife will get very angry at you.
Yeah, I'm certain of that. I'm teasing you, by the way, Brian. You know this. You know, you and I have been friends way too long to take that seriously. But what did you want to say?
It's the trust thing. It's what Aaron said. It's the trust factor.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben Johnson has now more trust in Caleb Williams than he had in the early part of the season. All you have to do is look at the Monday night in Minnesota to start the season, and then this big Saturday night game, which essentially sealed the division for the Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
He told Caleb Williams, don't go down and get me a field goal. You get me 6 points so we can get the heck out of here. And man, I picked on Caleb Williams endlessly for 2 years. I picked on DJ Moore for 2 years. Man, I got up and went to bed. And I said, I can't say anything. I watched the end of it, and that was one of the most beautiful passes I've seen Caleb Williams throw when given time, when his line stands him up, and he was able to loft it, and DJ Moore ran right past his defender. Game over. Time to celebrate.
Now, I'll tell you, the thing that really has made me a very cynical Bears fan for virtually my entire life has been some of the things that have made them overlook this year. Number one is Caleb's own accuracy over the past 2 seasons. He has, and now he's finally got a coach who knows how to coach him, and actually pummeled him earlier in the year in order to make sure that he was the kind of quarterback that you actually saw on Saturday night. I was with a group of friends at a watch party, and my friend has like 9 different TVs. He's set it up like a bar in his basement. It was great. So we were watching it unfold on 9 different TVs. And the thing is that for all that time, I'm going, oh no. I'm waiting for him to throw, and a pass or get sacked. I'm waiting all this time. And the thing is that with this win, the Bears have proven to me but one thing. And that's that if they keep their marbles together, they can be a Super Bowl contender. I think when they have, if Ben Johnson can keep them all together, and also not to have Caleb get so overhyped. He's been hyper in those moments where he really needs to have clarity of vision of the field. He can't stay so long in the pocket hesitating the way he has all season. But he has.
Is that
what?
Is that inexperience though? I mean, it's his second year in the league.
He's been playing football for God knows how long. Yeah. His second year in the league, he has got to take the lessons that Ben Johnson has been giving him all season. You saw, as I mentioned, it on Saturday night that all those lessons actually paid off, and they're only leading though the NFC North by 1.5 games, 2 weeks to go. Do you know? And the 49ers are not going to be a team that's going to let them off easy. If anything, this is their game of the season. I think even more so than the Packers. I think that the Packers were a very necessary win, and they almost didn't get there, up until those last minute 49, something like that. I was going, oh no. And then I sent a prayer up to God. I said, dear God, if there's ever a reason, if there's ever a time when you want the Bears to be legitimate, now is the time.
I have a question.
It worked.
I have a question.
I took the big guy. I'll take the big guy every time. I did the same thing with the Cubs in 2016 and the Chicago Sky in 2021. Seemed to work.
I have a question for the panel. The one thing about the Bears, I believe in the Bears. I'm still, to Snowman's point, not 100% believer of Caleb. And it's not the talent so much to me as it is the leadership. And what I watch of a quarterback, when I went into a huddle, the one thing about a quarterback, they all have talent, is you want a leader. You want somebody that knows he's not going to go pout on the sideline. For the first season, a year and a half, I've seen him go and just sit by himself, look down at the ground, and pout. Have we seen a change in that yet? Because I think that will be the turning point, not just for him, but for the Bears to really be consistent. Because I think that's the one thing they're waiting for, is him to grow up a little bit and then not be a powder. You're going to make mistakes, but support your team. How many quarterbacks, shake the hands of the guys as they're coming off the field goal team, the whatever team, or in the offensive line huddle, whatever it is. They are a part of that team, making sure they're ready to go for the next series. I have not seen that from Caleb.
The only time I saw that from Caleb was the comeback win by Oklahoma over Texas in 2021, when the team lifted him up after Oklahoma got down 28-7. They got him in the game. He was able to get himself back in the game, and the comeback happened. Saturday night kind of proved to me that he just may be turning the corner. Now, I'll use a term that my wife uses a lot when we talk football. Caleb's got to have tunnel vision come Sunday night and to end the season. You can't lean on this one win and expect to, even though the Bears are in the playoffs, if you're going to win the division, take that next step and get a divisional and get a wild card or a divisional game, you got to take that next step. This falls on Ben Johnson, and this falls on the entire team to look at him and go, we're going to lean on you. You got to be there.
Snowman, I got to step in real quick here and say this, because I know that the phrase nowadays is two things can be true. You're talking about a time when he was in college versus a time when he was in the NFL now. And both these times, Caleb had to be Caleb. That's what I like to say about any athlete. When that athlete becomes who we know them to be, that's when we see who they truly are. I disagree with you saying you don't go back on this one win that you had. You use that. You need to go back to that one win. Use that win to catapult you forward. I understand what you're saying is don't rest on your laurels because you got the win. But what I'm saying is you need to take from that win, hey, here is where we excelled as a team. Here is where there are areas of opportunity for us to get better as a team. Yes, it starts and ends with the quarterback. We all know this. But Chicago is in a position, and Allie knows this better than anybody. Chicago is in such a strong position themselves, the team, to not only get a high seed, have a high seed, but to make people have to come to Chicago in January. There are just certain places that you don't want to play. Seattle being one of them.
I see two of them. And I see
Chicago being another
on this panel right now. Philadelphia, Chicago, and New England.
We ain't got the Philly yet. I got the whole thing for Philly, but I just wanted to say that because I'm like, I understood what you were saying, but and thank you for that. Yes, 6 fourth quarter comebacks. If that is going to be the identity of Caleb Williams that I'm telling you what, going into the fourth quarter, every team that they play against needs to be fearful because of what we've seen him do.
Okay, but my question with that though is, you know, great, he has six fourth quarter comebacks, but why does your quarterback need to put you in that position?
Right.
Why does he need to wait till the fourth quarter?
Because he's still maturing.
But at a certain point, that's going to catch up.
He's not there yet.
You don't want to get behind the Niners.
If this was year 4 or year 5 and he was going through that, then I would be like, you know what? You're not that guy. But in your sophomore slump, you have your team in a position to not only make a run for Santa Clara, but you have gotten your team to believe in you as their quarterback. So that's why I say the turn, to Brian's point and to Allie's point, yes, has to happen now. And he needs to elevate each and every week moving forward. But at least we can go back and say he didn't shut down in the fourth quarter, to what Dave was saying. He wasn't on the bench pouting. He was like, okay, this is my time. They are paying me this money. I am that guy. And it's my time to be that guy for that city.
Well, you don't want to get... Go ahead. Well, Allie, we'll finish with you, and then I'm going to move on to the 49ers, but go ahead.
Sure. I was just going to say that I put together a few offensive keys for the Bears as they go on to the 49ers for this week.
Let's do it.
And so, first of all, establish the run. Don't overpower the 49ers. What? Did somebody say something? That's a must. Yes. Yes. Use the run game to keep linebackers honest and control the clock and prevent the explosive plays that we know Mike Shanahan wants. That's what they do. So there's that. Number 2 is that Caleb Williams needs to be protected. So they are okay. 49ers have a defense, and our offensive line has to come to the aid of Caleb Williams, no matter what. Bears have to capitalize on it by giving Williams the time, keeping him from scrambling into trouble. Number 3 is value every possession by minimizing the turnovers, focusing on steady execution, and also not to go into risky, explosive plays, which the Bears have never been any good at and never will be any good at, to my mind. They have to run it and keep it simple. Now, on defense, force the damn turnovers. That's the 49ers have a very high turnover rate. Bears defense needs to create takeaways to shift momentum away. The Bears need to have discipline and patience. This game is going to be a slow and tight affair. The Bears must avoid impatience and stick to their game plan and trust the steady execution. And most importantly, win the turnover battle.
Mm-hmm. Brian, what do you think? Being our 49er
this is me teasing Allie in return. Good luck. You're talking about a team.
It's on, buddy.
Oh, you bring it on. Hey, listen, I owe my wife. I owe my wife pizza in Chicago anyway, and I'm gonna make that happen. But to Allie's point, the Bears have to control the clock. You keep that 49er offense off the field and on the sideline, you're going to have them thinking. We've seen it so many times this year against the Rams, early in the second quarter against the Seahawks in game 1 of this year, against Jacksonville and Houston. You keep that 49er offense on the sideline, then you're going to be fine. You're going to have a chance to win this game. What Allie and the Bears need to remember, you came to California last year and you got spanked.
Yes.
By the same team that's been held together by duct tape, glue, chewing gum, bubble gum, and everything else. And yet these two teams, the two most unlikely teams to face off on Sunday Night Football, are 11-4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's quite a turnaround.
It's a hell of a story, because Deb sent me a message saying, look, I'm sorry about your 49ers. And I capitulated. The game I was preparing for, I looked at the injury list, and this is after we lost Fred Warner against Tampa Bay. I said, if we come back from this, anything else we get is gravy. Well, here comes the gravy train by the name of Christian McCaffrey, who stands 120 yards away from doing something that's only been done 2 other times. And he'll be the first running back to do it twice, which is, of course, the 1,000 season. So you got to watch him. The defense is going to be hungry. They may be held together by duct tape and glue, but they're going to come after Caleb Williams. They're going to need to force Caleb Williams to make a mistake, which is what happened in Green Bay at the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
Mm-hmm. But they also had Micah Parsons. They also had Micah Parsons up there.
We got a couple of extra pieces back. We got a couple of extra pieces back in our lineup, including Bryce Huff, who's back from an injury, Tatum Bethune, middle linebacker, and the fellow that the Bears need to fear is a guy named D. Winters in his 6th year out of TCU. He's going to be one of the difference makers. So it's going to be a fun game in Santa Clara.
And Brock Purdy's back too. I mean, he's getting hot at the right time.
Yeah.
5 touchdowns. Sure, I nearly woke up the house on every touchdown he threw last night because I did the live stream. Eric, you've hung out with me on the you know how excited I get. We've talked football for a long time. I have to say, my wife said, do me a favor and don't wake me up because I know you're doing the game. I'm going to go crash. I said, honey, I'll be okay. Yeah. Then Brock Purdy got started.
Mm-hmm.
She came out and looked at me and she says, how bad is it, baby? You don't want to know. Okay, I'm going back to bed. She is zonked out. She wakes up and she says, you need to answer one question. Yes. How bad was it? I told her the score and she says, I'm going back to sleep.
Did they score every time they had the ball?
Except twice.
Yeah.
Once on a missed field goal attempt.
Shredded them.
Yep. Once on a missed field goal attempt, and the other was an interception, which D. Winters got back for us and took it to the house. You're facing a 49er team, and I've said this often. Eric, you've heard me say it on the air. You're facing a 49er team that, to the fright of the rest of the NFC, is getting hot at the right time.
Well, let's move on to another NFC team. Eric, we're coming to you. The Eagles-Commanders game. Obviously, the Eagles have clinched the NFC East by beating the Commanders. They're second in the NFC East. Right, second time being the NFC East champions. They're seeded right now number 3. Barkley is finally starting to look like Barkley again. What do you think?
Is he? Okay. So go ahead. First, let me speak to my fellow Eagle fan, the one and only Miss Deb Whitcas, about that. See, Deb, let me be honest with you. I'm wearing my holiday sweater, but if you notice, it's an ugly sweater because that just basically sums up our season. Okay, our season has been ugly. Let's call it what it is. Okay,
yeah, we're lucky to be where we're at.
Where we're at right now is because of our defense. I have said this the entire season.
We would not be.
Yeah, we would not be in the position that the Philadelphia Eagles, the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions, are in if it was not for Vic Fangio and Reed Blankenship and Cooper DeJean and Jordan Davis and Zach Bond and the guy who I have been most critical about this year in Quinyon Mitchell. Okay.
Yes.
So, who was my aunt's neighbor, by the way? She lives next door.
Wow.
Wow. Well, tell her we will send her an edible arrangement for how bad he was at the start of the season. To say all that, I say this. Brian just hit the nail on the head. You talk about a team that is getting together. We ain't hot. We lukewarm right now, but we're doing it at the right time. And what is helping us, if you will, assisting us, if you will, giving us cause to have that confidence within ourselves is the fact that the teams that we're facing are one player away from falling apart. Jaden Daniels, wonderful young man. Had the pleasure of meeting him in New Orleans last February when Deb and I were there for Media Week for Super Bowl. The brother can't stay healthy. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for Marcus Mariota. Sorry, not sorry. But now we have the game of the week against Buffalo. Okay. And as the gentleman who is, as I look at the screen, the gentleman who is to Deb, your left, wearing the Patriots gear, I have to say this. I respect the fact that New England under Mike Rabel is in a great position, but please don't get it twisted. This still ain't your division. Okay. It is Buffalo's division to lose. Now, they very well may lose it.
Oh, they're going to.
However, you're not there yet. Okay.
You better not lose out.
With regards to Philadelphia, it is very simply what I say when it comes to our team, Deb. We are the ones who control our own destiny. Saquon looking like Saquon, he's not, it's nowhere near what last year was. Last year was he wanted to get out of New York. He got to Philadelphia and said, let me show you who I am. This year, under Kevin Patullo, the run game has seemed to be not even a shell of what it was.
Right.
You know when I started to believe in this team?
I mean, Eagles are a run team.
It is. But you know when I started to believe in this team? I started to believe in this team when we started to go 5 wide. Because that, to me, I was like, oh, okay. So you got Devontae on one side, AJ on another side, Saquon there, Jahan Dotson, Dallas Goedert. I'm going to throw everybody at you. Stop all of us if you can. That is when I saw the team that we need to be this year. As
and
far
Eric, there's your key. They've been hinting since they got Dallas Goedert in the draft out of South Dakota State, a player that I previewed when the Eagles drafted him. They were hinting the entire time about putting him in a 5-wide position instead of at a normal, regular tight end position. When they spread him out, you have unleashed Dallas Goedert. This is Dallas Goedert at his best. Because now
he was injured majority of last year too. Last season.
Because now you force the defense to make a decision. Do we look at Dallas Goedert to block, or do we have to cover him in a pass pattern?
Right. And so for us to first off, to get to the postseason, do what we have to do. Beat Buffalo in Buffalo, and then rest our starters week 18 because Washington's playing for nothing, and it's a division game at home. And I'd like to honestly see more of Tanner McKee and Bigsby. I just want to see more of those guys to see what we have for the future. Because here's the thing, whether it's the 2 seed or the 3 seed, one of those two teams, be it the Rams or currently as slated, the 49ers, we're going to see one of them. And quite honestly, I don't want to. Let me just keep it a buck with y'all.
Hey guys, real quick, Aaron has to run. We just wanted to say Merry Christmas, Aaron. Thank you so much for being here.
Merry Christmas,
guys,
Aaron.
Merry
Aaron, thank you.
I'm sorry about
Merry
my
Christmas.
internet. Merry Christmas. Love you all.
Merry Christmas.
Love you too.
Bye, guys.
Upgrade to Hotmail.
All right, let's talk a little bit more Eagles just for a bit, and then let's jump to Patriots because Dre has been patient with us all.
Well, real quick for both my Eagles fans here. Do you trust your kicker?
No, we do not. We do not.
It's one game.
I love Jake
Okay,
Elliott
hold on.
with my heart, but no, unfortunately, I think he's gone.
Here's the thing.
Jake we went through the same thing earlier in the year with we went through the same thing earlier in the year with Jake Moody, and then Easy Eddie Pinheiro showed up and nearly banged home a 64-yard field goal for us. So if anybody is sympathetic, you're looking at him.
You know what? I gotta ride with him because he is still that dude that has more times than not kicked us the game-winning field goal. Yeah, so I gotta roll the dice with him. Trust me, I'm sitting on my couch watching this Commanders game.
You're going to have to, especially coming into January.
We're not, listen, I'll put it to you like this. We're not getting another double doink in Chicago. We're not getting a game where we injure Brock Purdy and then, Christian McCaffrey has to play quarterback. We're not going into the 12 hoping and wishing and praying that, you know what I mean, that Seattle doesn't have nobody in the stands. I recognize all of that. What I'm saying to you is there is a level that I have not reached yet, because with me, there are different tiers, okay? Mm-hmm. And I have been calm, cool, and collected for the majority of this season, but we are coming into the postseason. Every single snap, every single play, every single minute, second quarter, the whole nine matters. It matters now. So whether it's Chicago, whether it's Seattle, whether it's San Francisco, whether it's the Rams, who everybody apparently is saying is just going to win this division outright, they're going to be the NFC. They're going to win their conference. Excuse me. Seattle has the number 1 seed, but the Rams are apparently the team that's going to be going to Santa Clara as representatives of the NFC. You sleep on us at the wrong time, and we are going to take it out on you. So I want to say that.
Not unless you see us first.
Well, right now, if the playoffs were to start today, the Rams are coming to us, and we would do the Seahawks and the 49ers a favor. We would take them out for you guys like we did last year. Okay, that's what I'll say.
Right. You know what? That was the matchup I wanted in 2021 when you were a guest on my show, and we were praying for that. Rams just kept winning. Doggone it.
God said no.
God slammed the door in our face.
Let's move on to the Patriots. They're now 12-3, number 1 in the AFC East, and second in the AFC in general. Drea, what are the chances of you guys getting the number 1 seed in the AFC?
If I'm being honest, and if I'm taking off my blue tinted glasses, no, I don't think they have a great opportunity. Looking at Denver's remaining schedule, the Chargers game is going to be a big deal, but it's going to be for seeding purposes, and that concerns me because I don't trust Herbert, to play well. So.
Okay.
I think Denver will take out the next 2 games and get the number 1 seed, and that's unfortunate because I think this very young Patriots team has shown a lot this year. Like what Mike Vrabel has done has taken away has messed with the expectations of a lot of us, because if Patriots fans were being honest with everyone, we would have told you 9-8 would have been what we were looking for and what we were expecting, and even with the easiest schedule in the world. But just watching what Drake May and Josh McDaniels is doing and what Vrabel has done, you guys were talking earlier about Caleb Williams and his leadership, and here in New England, we've literally watched Mike Vrabel since training camp pretty much give leadership lessons to Drake May. Right. He was literally running him down to, no, what are you doing over here? Go back, talk to your offensive line, congratulate your wide receiver, go. And this was in training camp. Like this wasn't even, we're not even talking, games or anything like that, just straight training camp practices. And you just watched and I think you're seeing that bond pay off now with how our wide receiver group has kind of flipped its head a little bit. Having Diggs helps. Thank you. Yeah. Having Diggs helps.
He was hyping them up the last game.
Yeah. We don't win without Harbaugh deciding not to run Derrick Henry the last 7 minutes of the game. Mm-hmm. Hey, I guess it was just the running back coach's decision. Sure, John. But the other
no comment.
Huh? Good.
No comment.
I plead the fifth. I plead
Not me. You can't get me to say it, although as bad as I want to. You can't get me to say it. You can't force me to say it.
Oh, you're going to say it. I know you're going to say it. I know you will.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Dre, can I just say this really quick? I look at this as someone who my nephew is 15 years old. This kid knows football, and his team just happens to be the same as yours. So every time we get together, that's all he wants to talk about. He feels that, we had an argument the other day about most improved player of the year, and I said it's going to go, in my opinion, to Trevor Lawrence. He said, how can you say that? Look what Drake May did last year, 4-13 to where he's at. I'm like, gee, you're not looking at the total body of work. But I digress. My question.
There's no way Drake May is going to do most improved player.
I still say you give it to Trevor Lawrence.
But that's what I'm saying. I can't see Drake May getting it.
So here's my question to you.
I can't see Trevor Lawrence getting it.
Oh my God, Brian! I will come on your show and we can pick that one apart at another time. But I've been
wanting back on my show for 2.5 years. Bring it on, man.
Listen, I got a lot. But to Dre, my question really quick. Houston has one of the top defenses in the league. That's what scares me about them playing you guys in the first round wildcard weekend. And I want to know your thoughts on that.
So, no, Houston's defense scares me. Defense travels. And, but I will say my confidence in Drake May, I don't know if it's the combination of Josh McDaniels, Mike Vrabel, have all squished their brains into Drake May's mind, but my faith in him under pressure is like at the end of last season, there was the concern that he was going to have a turnover every game for some reason. And yet this year he has just changed ball security, how he handles things, how he handles pressure. I mean, a mistake that he literally made in the Raiders game. Same opportunity comes a couple games later, and he doesn't repeat it. You see his mind has already corrected it. So I feel like, yes, we might see a not great first quarter, but unfortunately we're getting into the habit of we don't have great first quarters. And by the third quarter, the team is humming and they've made adjustments. So my faith in Drake May and how Josh McDaniels and the coaching staff will adjust. I've seen it so many games this season where I was like, they come out and the first time the offense goes through and the first time the defense goes through, and you just go, what was that? And then the rest of the game,
I agree.
They've moved on. It was like that was their practice round. It's like, oh no, this is training camp. Not trying to it's just like, we don't know what we're doing, and now we do. And I
have one more question, then we have to wrap it up. The injuries on the Patriots are starting to pile up a little bit. Trayvon Henderson, head injury. He only played 14 minutes. Your O-line is pretty banged up. Will Campbell, he's already been out. Do you think that is an issue moving forward?
I do. I trust Vidarian Lowe not at all. Josh McDaniels and the O-line coach, and why am I blanking on his name right now? I apologize. But they've done a really good job of making sure Vidarian Lowe isn't a complete turnstile. But after his performance last season, it scares me to have Vidarian Lowe as your left tackle. The biggest problem for the Patriots has been our depth. Mm-hmm. We have some great frontline guys, but we go from, not bad, like good to like not good at all. We lost Carlton Davis for a few snaps a couple games ago, and it was like, oh, they're going to throw to Charles Woods. They're going to throw to Charles Woods. They're throwing at Charles Woods we don't have the depth. So it's a major concern. I'm also, from what I've heard from, when you've heard Burt Breer talk and everything like that, the it sounds like Campbell tore something. So they're calling it a sprain, but it sounds like he tore something. And if that reporting is true, Will Campbell isn't coming back.
Right.
Right. Well, I'll tell you one thing you have though, and you've mentioned it, and that is Mike Vrabel. Last year you didn't have him, so when you have injuries like a John Lynch, I mean, in the Niners, everyone goes, "How are the Niners doing it? How are the Niners doing it?" If you never met Lynch, you don't know how they're doing it, because that cat just builds confidence and builds a team, a squad. Vrabel will know how to get into that young man's head and that man's ear and say, "Hey, you can do this, young man." That's all sometimes a cat needs. Sometimes they struggle because they have no confidence. They've got no reps. They got no confidence, and they're going against. Well, for me, it's Bruce Smith. I mean, I was, how do you do that? But if you're going against, some of these guys, you just have to have some confidence. And you've got one of the best coaches in the league. He's come in, he's proved it, and I love watching him on the sidelines doing his stuff.
And don't you feel just a little bit lucky though that the Patriots are facing the Jets on Sunday?
Listen,
Deb and I did picks this morning, and I said the game to her, and the cringe face that she gave me when I mentioned it told me everything I needed to know about that game, man.
By far.
My big thing is like I see the point spread. I see everything tells me this game should be a blowout. So then I look at it and I go, it's a divisional game, and it is like rolling dice. Yeah, would it surprise me if this game went into overtime and it's won by a field goal? Not at all. Would it also not surprise me if the Patriots won 48-3? Not at all.
Not at all.
Can I leave you guys?
Can I leave
you guys with this one thing about that game on Sunday? The one thing the Jets have not done this entire season?
Interception.
They have not intercepted the ball one time.
Oh, wow. That's
Drake
true.
May is going to throw an interception on Sunday against the Jets. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Oh, my God.
I'm just
What a prediction, Eric.
when it happens,
What are the
ladies and
odds on that,
gentlemen,
Eric?
you can
Eric, I
say
love you
you
dearly,
heard it
but
here
don't you know
on
better?
the Blonde Blitz.
All right, guys.
Don't you
let's
know
wrap
better
it
than
up.
to make a prediction around me? Don't you know better than that?
All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Let's go through everyone's plans for Christmas and where our audience can find you. Drea, let's start with you.
Plans for Christmas is to spend it with some family, my girlfriend. My nephew and niece are in town from Carlsbad, so it's going to be a really good time. I already took them to a Bruins game. I'm going to also take them to hopefully get them to some other games as well. And then to find me, the best way is on Instagram at 13photo or at 13photo.
All right. Thank you so much, Dave.
You'd have to ask Anne Marie what my plans are. I never know. I never know until I get up, and then she tells me what we're doing. So
just tell her I said hi.
Yeah, but she always gets me pointed in the right direction. I know it has something that will have something to do with friends and family. And then for me, I'm just Dave DeRocher at Instagram, Facebook, and then Hawk Talk 12, and the talk is with a W, Hawk Talk 12, and we're on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, coming to the live stream.
Awesome. Go ahead, Brian.
There's a pretty lady named Jody that I've been happily married to, and she does the same thing that Dave's wife does.
Yeah.
I wake up and say, okay, this is where we're gonna do. No, we're gonna spend Christmas with family. I get to see my nieces and nephews run all over the place. They're gonna run me ragged, and all you guys can find me via social media. Just look for Snowman Multimedia.
All right, Allie, go ahead.
Allie is going to be spending Christmas Eve with my boyfriend Greg's family, his 4 grandchildren, one of whom is having her first Christmas at 10 months old. So I'm happy about that. The next day is Christmas Day is going to be with my 98-year-old mother at Benihana, and Greg and my kid, who's spending time away from me on Christmas Eve with their friends, is we're all going to be together along with my sister by another Mr. Carroll. We're all going to be at Benihana. You can find me at Allison with 1L Moran 2015 at gmail.com, and most Thursdays and Fridays on Snowman in the Morning. So, and various other outlets as well. So.
That's why your internet works, Allison. You got Gmail. That's why your internet works.
That's right.
It's why mine works also. I went with the
exactly.
Christmas Eve, my sister-in-law, who is just a phenomenal cook, she is doing, I believe, a pasta bar, which, you know, the woman starts, I think she started tonight cooking for Christmas Eve because that's what she does. So we're all going to be at her house. Christmas is going to be at my house. Since I don't cook on Thanksgiving, I flip the script and do most of the cooking, minus the French toast casserole and the mashed potatoes. You know, I'll do everything else on Christmas, and family's coming over. I don't know why they put Dallas and Washington on Christmas as the first game. I think that is a horrible game. We could have got so much better NFL, but you know,
Netflix.
One of the few
Why
years,
are you surprised?
I know. One of the few years that I actually get both days off, spending it with family. And as always, you can find me on my Instagram at Eric C. Wilson TV. And again, Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you so much. I know I've taken some time off in 2025, but trust and believe when the playoffs start rolling around in 2026, as I tell a lot of people, and Deb, Brian, Allie, Dave, Dre, you're just going to find stuff for the first time. Like I tell people, I'm just a loudmouth with an opinion. So whether you like it or not, here it comes. So
you owe me, Eric.
Brian, look when I get back, shameless plug, when I get back from the National Scouting Combine in Naples, sir, trust me, I'm gonna make a phone call. I'm gonna hit you up on Messenger. We got playoff talk to do.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you guys soon.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
All right, guys. Next, Von Miller's personal chef, Chef V. She gives you tips to keep your holiday meal healthy. Here we go.
I used to make peanut butter and jelly for football. Then I watched the Blonde Blitz, and now my game day food is on a whole new level.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Chef V clocking in for the Blonde Blitz Holiday Edition. Holy pineapples, I cannot believe we are already at the end of the year, at the end of the season, but I gotta be honest, I love a good celebration. Don't love all the food waste though, so here is a cool, fun, clever way to reutilize some of your indulgent leftovers, at least I'll be indulging. So if you've got some prime rib or actually any type of proteins left over, I have blanched some collard greens and patted them dry. Just gonna cut off the little tail end here. And you know, I kind of went with the whole New Year's tradition of collard greens and black-eyed peas. So here I'm going to make some veggie and steak rolls using these collard greens, and I've made a fabulous black-eyed pea hummus to go with it as a little dip. Now you can also utilize, like, let's say you have some shrimp cocktail left over and a salad, throw that in a lettuce wrap. You could also do these with a blanched chard. You want to blanch it in some salty water and then dunk it in a little bucket of ice so that it takes the bite down a little bit. So check this out. We just roll them down, fold, and voila, you've got a little spring roll. Aren't these freaking fabulous and gorgeous? And this is the best part. You can add some finely shredded purple cabbage, anything, whatever you want. Look at how vibrant and gorgeous these are on the inside. Yum these. I'm going in, y'all. Look. Black-eyed pea hummus. Yummy. It's fresh, it's clean, and it's actually really fun. Now, we are galloping into the year of the horse. So, I had to make something with apples. So I made these a little micro tarte tatin, which is really just an apple pie made the French way. But I'm hacking with these little shells. Usually it's a flipped over puff pastry. Caramelize some apples, bake them in these little tart shells, top with a little bit of whipped cream or ice cream even if you want. And voila, you've got a little dessert worthy of this magnificent, motivational, fiery year that we're walking into. But don't sleep on the cocktails, guys. Pure cranberry juice. We're not quite out of the cranberry season yet. Do not sleep on pure cranberry sauce. And of course, you know that in my house, it's going to be a margarita with a little lime quat and black salt as a garnish. Just a little orange juice, tequila, fresh cran. It's tart enough, doesn't need any lime. And voila. Look how festive and fun and cute and pink and blonde Blitz. Cheers, everybody. Happy holidays. Happy everything.
All right, thanks so much, Chefy. All right, let's get into the games, shall we? Please welcome third-generation sports betting expert Alex White to give you your best bet for Week 17.
It's time to get some NFL betting advice from Alex White and the Blonde Blitz. Win big so I can rob you later.
Happy holidays, everybody. We are getting down to the end here. A lot of meaningful football left for us. Week 17 in the NFL. And I'm eyeing a game that is very impactful for both of these teams. Eagles at Buffalo. I know Deb is going to be watching this one closely. The total open 45 was bet down. Now we're seeing some sharp action come in on the over at 43. I agree with that. I also think we're going to have a lot of points in this game. On paper, the Eagles third in scoring defense in points allowed, allowing just 19.3. But when you look at their matchups against top 10 offenses, they've given up more points. Looking at the Cowboys, Rams, and the Bears, they gave up an average of 24 points per game. Now they're going up against a Bills offense that is clicking. Josh Allen, James Cook are playing some tremendous football right now. They are fourth in the league in scoring and yards per game. On the other side, I think the Eagles offense is finally clicking again. 2 weeks in a row, they have averaged 385 total yards, and that was against the Raiders and the Commanders. But the Bills, they are 15th in scoring defense, so I think the Eagles are going to have that same success here in this matchup. Over 43, that is my Week 17 best bet of the week. I'll check in again next week. Happy holidays.
God bless us.
God bless us, everyone.
Thanks so much, Alex. And of course, we cannot talk sports betting without talking fantasy. Here's fantasy expert Ballers Meg with her advice for Week 17.
When I'm looking for fantasy advice, I listen to Meg from TSS Fantasy.
Hi guys, Ballers Meg coming at you with your fantasy football section of the Blonde Blitz podcast this week. You can probably see I'm on the wind down for Christmas, guys. It's sleepover time, chilling out, but that doesn't mean that football stops. So this week, my top tips for my daily fantasy football squads are as follows. First up, I'm heading back to the Patriots, which you know I've been favouring for the last couple of weeks. Pick up Ramondre Stevenson where you can. That matchup against the Jets, come on, he's going to be putting those points up left and right. Next up, another team that is solid and has been for the last few weeks is Seattle Seahawks. They are playing a Panther side that is not great, let's be honest. They've been so inconsistent. Pick up Kenneth Walker III wherever you possibly can. I can see him getting lots of points. Jackson Smith and Jigba is obviously the key choice, but Kenneth Walker has been doing phenomenal things. I don't think he gets spoken about enough because everyone's focusing on JSN. Finally, my last pick this week, and this is such a tricky week to pick because there are so many players that I think could be outstanding this week. I'm going to go for Dak Prescott. Obviously, we've got a Christmas Day game against Washington. Dallas show up on Christmas. We saw them show up on Thanksgiving. We know what they can do. Pick up Dak Prescott as your quarterback for that Christmas Day game. I promise you won't be disappointed, because that is going to be one hell of a matchup for Christmas football. I hope that you guys have the best Christmas and wish you all the best for the new year when it comes. And I will see you in the new year for more Blonde Blitz. Take care, guys. Bye.
Make my wish come true.
Thanks so much, Meg. Jason, that was a great end there. Next, Intuitive Reader 333 asks, Carrie is using her Power Deck cards to predict the Texans versus Chargers game this week. Carrie, what do you got for us?
Let's see what the Power Deck cards say about these NFL team futures.
333 Ask Carrie here, ready to give you Week 17 game predictions for the Houston Texans versus LA Chargers game, and I will be using my Power Deck. So this game in particular happens to be all elemental, and it's going to be all about what the quarterbacks and the leadership of those quarterbacks are going to do. We have the Houston Texans coming in with being their division leader, and then we have the Chargers coming in with the need to really make this game happen and take the win. So it's definitely going to be a game of control versus urgency. And I really think that it is going to be all about the elements in this particular game, because CJ Stroud, quarterback, is actually a Libra, so that makes him an air sign. And then we have Herbert, who's a Pisces, and he is a water sign. So it is definitely going to be a game of air versus water. And, you know, you'll definitely want to be watching this particular game, because I feel it's going to be a very close and exciting game. Very different from other matchups in their past. So let's get into it. There's two astrological transits that will be affecting this, and it's both having the sign of Capricorn. Now, Capricorn's energy is very steady and grounding, and, you know, it's very game day decision type of action. And so the sun in Capricorn means that there's going to be more focus and determination and dominance type of a feel. And then we have Venus in Capricorn, which is going to be all more about the team building, how the quarterbacks run their teams, what's really going to be, you know, the synergy of the actual team. So those two particular transits actually really take precedence over how I see this all playing out. Now, because I said it's going to be neck to neck, there might be a tie towards, you know, making it a tie at the end of the game. But let's see what the Power Deck has for things. We have, I'm going to start with the Chargers, okay? They have the 5 of diamonds, so they're not number one in their league, but, you know, they're hanging in. They take their losses very well. Good sportsmanship. And then they have the 9 of clubs, the 9 of pentacles. Now, that's actually a card where it says that there's going to be an uptick in the actual game playing. So, again, if Stroud comes in and, you know, makes, you know, very key plays, so will Herbert. You know, Herbert will match that energy. And then they have the 4 of spades, the Chargers, and that last card there kind of says it all. It's a card that's kind of like they're, you know, they might do well, but not the hottest card in the deck because it's only a 4. Then let's see what the Texans have. They have the 6 of diamonds, which means that they've in the past been able to shine, definitely because they are the leader in their division. They have a 2 of pentacles though. So like at halftime, it's going to be a toss up. We won't know who's going to really be taking over the game at the last half of that particular game. And then we have the Jack of spades, and ironically spades represent air sign being CJ Stroud, so he will definitely be looking like, out of the 2 quarterbacks, the winner or victor of this whole particular matchup. So final score wise, guys, I have Texans at 31 and Chargers at 28. So this is going to definitely be an exciting game. Happy holidays to everyone and Merry Christmas. Back to you, Deb.
Thanks so much, Carrie. All right, guys, we are done with today's show. Today's show is sponsored by Wish LBI and Underdog Fantasy. Go to Underdog Fantasy and use promo code BLONDE, and we'll double your deposit up to $100. If you like today's show, please subscribe, and you can follow us on all socials at The Blonde Blitz. All right, guys, football forever. See you next week. Go Birds. And most importantly, Merry Christmas.